Thank you so much, sir. I just requested ma'am because I have a friend from Singapore to visit me. So I thought I'll speak first so that I'll be able to attend her.
Correct. So very good morning to Brazil. Good evening from India. Good day to all viewers across the globe. Today is the most intellectual panel. All good friends of mine, mentors, guide, and the people, those who have supported this GEL forum and taken to this height. So my heartfelt gratitude to all friends, Panthea, Dr. Aarti, Dr. Arceloni, and Dr. Esther Mala from Malaysia. The discussion which we are continuing from last 6 to 7 weeks and which is getting into very serious discussion, the sustainable goals of UNESCO aiming 2030. One topic which we are taking, which is connected directly to the education and sustainability. Of course, it is the interconnect of the global challenges which we have. Global challenges regarding biodiversity, regarding climate change, industrialization, and there is a very good connect which is called there is an individual and as well as collaborative or collective action required, not talk. And ESD is a lifelong journey. Once we talk about education and sustainability, it is not a talk, it is a practice. ESD, which affects the cognitive socio-emotional chain, which affects the pedagogy, which affects the learning for environment where we are living. So this topic is not at all we are just educating. This topic we all must practice. Keep saying air, water, sunlight is not divided. It belongs to the one God Almighty, or who is taking care of all of us. So it is our sole responsibility. The fruits which we are eating today, of course, all were not planted by us. Air which we are breathing today, these all plants were not planted by us. The entire diversity of the nature, due to industrialization or we say modernization, somehow has gone to a level which is very serious. Global Edu Leader Forum is one of the small torch bearer or tickling stars where can at least some shine, some lights to the other people. So as my proud privilege, Dr. Aarti has to attend guest, and she has been always a very active participants and moderated session international webinars. So Dr. Aarti, my heartfelt gratitude, and over to you. Would love to hear how we take this sensitivity of sustainability forward, because many people are talking. It is very clearly, it has been mentioned and discussed, that now there is a collective and individual action required. Talks has come to the one end. So how we take this journey forward? Welcome to you and over to you.
Sir, I am really privileged and honored to be here today. And thank you so much, sir. I really apologize for the background I have because I have my friend from Singapore visiting me and we are here in some cafes. So, talk on this because education, I have been in education for the past 17 to 18 years, and it is a topic with which I connect the most. And most importantly, Mr. SK and Beatrice ma'am, Renita ma'am, they all are so close to my heart. They are such good friends. So I thought that it is an opportunity to talk about the topic. So thank you so much. And my wishes to everyone sitting here, Dr. Esther, Dr. Pentia, Ma'am Renata, Ma'am Arcione, wishes to everyone. So, okay. So now if I talk about my country, that is India. So SK Singh sir will definitely agree to me that India has been a country of gurus. We have, Guru Dronacharya, Chanakya, Savitribai Phule. So we have many Swami Vivekananda. We have many great gurus in our country. But unfortunately, what happened? We don't know that what has happened in the recent surveys. We have seen that among the top 100 universities of India, of the world, I'm saying, top 100 universities of the world, India could not find a place. There is no single university from India that could find a place in the top 100 list. Then what happened? What was the problem? Where we went wrong when we had great gurus with us in our country? What went wrong? So I tried to analyze some of the points, being in education sector for so many years. So I have tried to get some points, and at the same time, I have taken out some sustainable decisions. It is that case. See, we know that every child is unique. Every child has a different kind of abilities and set. But unfortunately, our education system makes everyone a part of that race. And somehow our education system is not helping the child to choose the purpose of life. We know that everybody has a different purpose for which we are here on this earth. But our education system is somehow so, what my tip is regarding this, the teacher should be a gardener rather than a jailer. So, instead of comparing our children with, Sharma ji ka beta, that is very common in our India that Sharma ji ka beta has done this thing. In spite of doing that, we must find the purpose of that child's life. Second thing which comes to my mind is the survey says that 80% of the engineering graduates, the persons who are engineers, 80% of them are unemployable. Why they are unemployable? Because of the lack of skills. Then they have degrees, but they do not have the skills. So our education system is actually somewhere a failure in imparting the knowledge or the, I must say, real life education. Our children do not know how to draft an email. Our students do not know how to file their income tax. They do not know how to express their feelings. Sometimes I feel, sometimes I school my child who is 15 years old. And after that, after maybe an hour or 2 hours, he tells me that Mama, this was the case. And then I feel very guilty. And then I asked him that why did not you tell me that time when I was scolding you? And he said you were not listening to me and I was not able to put up words. See, I feel that students are not able to actually express because that has not been taught to them. So I feel that there is a skills. We are not telling them to, we are not teaching them to communicate. We are not teaching them to draft an email or to file an income tax. So this is I feel. And which I want to add is, I feel that teachers should try to make the subjects more entertaining. Because if they make the subjects entertaining, just 1% of extra enthusiasm from the teacher, just 1% of extra interest from the teachers, they can convert the subject which students take as a medicine. The subject can be converted into mithai, that is sweet. So we can convert medicine into mithai if teachers make the subject more entertaining and more interesting. Just reading out from the book and telling the facts and data to the children will not work anyway. But at the same time, I would like to say that in return, teachers deserve a lot of respect because in India, if I say, 50% of the people are youth, but still there are no teachers. They do not want to adopt teaching as their career because teachers are not paid well here. Teachers, India is one of the least paid, country when it comes to teachers. So it is a two-way. It is a circle actually. So to maintain the sustainability, we have to maintain that respect and that obviously to for their livelihood also. We have to maintain that respect in form of money also and in form of respect, emotional respect also to the teachers. And in return, teachers must try to work as a gardener for the children, not as a jailer. So this is all what I could find from my observation. And thank you so much once again, everyone, for calling me, for inviting me on this wonderful platform. And I wholeheartedly congratulate Mr. S.J. Singh for beginning this platform. This is a wonderful thing you are doing for education. Thank you.
Dr. Aarti, thank you so much. Your heart-touching comment. Okay, once it comes, you are not respected, you are not being paid, so you are missing something. And once you are missing something, you will not be happy. If you are not happy, you cannot be productive. Rightly said, teachers' emotional connect to the child is most important factor, especially in India where we are there. But I take your point. We have to connect ourselves so our talks become more effective. We talk about protection of pollution, but how? Are we doing anything or we are just talking? So once you become example, emotionally connected, your talks can be more effective. And of course, there is a skills required. I still remember 7-8 years back, there was a survey in especially Uttar Pradesh, one state of 53,000 seats of engineering were vacant because 1,300 colleges were just open. So there is a mismatch of the job opportunity and the product. So thank you so much. Taking next speaker, no other than Dr. Arceloni. She is on the screen, always being a mentor guide for us. How we take this journey to the next step. United Nations is also realizing at this point of time, there is much more which we have been talking, but how we take this collective effort. I see the students once they go for plantation. I see the students once they come for protection of environment. So where you find, especially in the higher education, where the things are missing and how we can take this journey forward. Welcome to you, Dr. Arceloni from Brazil, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the privilege to be here once more, crossing the ocean, yeah? Well, education and sustainability. When I was thinking what I have to talk today, I pay attention to the word sustainability and inserted part of the word is the ability. How to do. The secret is how to do. We have to know how to do everything. It depends if it's a tangible, intangible action. That's the point. And in education, if we got really sustainability, we have the action, the first action that is deep inserted in every human being, the dream. When we take the dream of a person, and it is exactly what we work in education, in the families and to the human being, with the individual person. We take this dream and change it to action. We realize the dream of the person and make the person prepare to be inserted in the market to work, to be around the things. And that is specifically we have to do. We are translators, the dreams into reality. That is our special action in education. In Brazil, thank you. In Brazil, and it's so serious, because when we talk about dream, the dream of a family, the dream of a person, sometimes when it is realized in action, the person is prepared to act as a professional. We are transform the life of the person and maybe the family. Because if it is inserted in the market properly, she is able to earn more, richer. And the person changes all the life of the family, all the persons are around. In education now in Brazil, it's not a very young system. In fact, it is 20 years, 30, 24, 20 and some years ago. We had a complex evaluation system. We have the fundamental education up to 14 years old. Then we have the medium size, 3-4 years. It depends if it is ordinary school or if it's technological school, preparing to work. And then we have the graduation and the post-graduation. In graduation, we have the courses that prepare to be teachers. We have the bachelors that prepare to work directly into the market. And we have the technologos, courses that prepare to specifically to act in a part of the action. Engineering, production engineer, for example, just to work with the building of cars, for example, screws and cogs, maybe, yeah, it depends specifically. 2 years course. And then we have the post-graduation, the lato sensu, that in Brazil, we don't have a very spread legislation to that. We know that the preparation, the MBAs, the courses are 360 hours to prepare specifically as a specialization. And up to 362, 420, we have the preparation to be teachers. Subjects that prepare to be teacher, voted, disciplines that are voted to education. Then we have the strict sensu, masters and doctors. Now recently, 12 years ago, we started the process of professional masters and doctoral and professional doctors. The goal of these programs, and I am the coordinator of one of that, is that we have specifically when the 24 months we are mastering, we have to end with a red product that is ready to insert in society immediately. So this is the quick view of education in Brazil. As I started talking in the beginning, we have a huge evaluation program for that. At the end of the medium and 3 years, we have an evaluation that, and aim. With this notation, we can start graduation. Or the other possibility is the vestibular, approved to enter at graduation. And aim is an evaluation that tests every disciplines, every subject, every content our students had percourse in any way this this part of education. And vestibular or ENEM conduct to the graduation courses. At the end of the courses, the graduation courses, we have an ADI. Once again, this evaluation is evaluating, is measuring all the knowledge our students had improved at the graduation. Sometimes it is so sad because we have physicians just getting 2.1 in a system that is 0 to 5. What about a surgery with a doctor, a physician that is just 2.1? Maybe it is not exactly sustainability, yes. So that is the point. We are working. The organization of the system is so huge, is excellent, in fact. But the results, the education we have in Brazil is not able indeed to improve persons to be rich. If we take PASA, for example, it tests Brazilians do not read, do not know how to read. And it is so sad. So we have a very huge organization for education, but for the other side, it is completely lacked what we have to do, yeah? And for political reasons, we don't have any actions, in fact, that are changing this scenario. And we need that so much. Because everyone this side of the world says Brazil is the country of the future. But to be future, we need persons that read and write properly with competence, good skills, soft and hard skills. We need people that are able to think, to see the problems, to realize the problems and present solutions to that. That is what we call sustainability in education. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Asolani. Really delighted to know your deep inside, especially the analysis, how we prepare MBA, how we prepare teachers.
Thank you.
Which are the challenges. And while specifically creating masters and doctors in the subject, of course, great point. We must take care of challenges are there in BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. We have this commitment that these countries are going to be the edu leaders, those who are going to reflect the leadership in terms of responsible citizen of this global world. Next point, which I'm going to take from Professor Dr. Eastern Mala from Malaysia. And Panthea, I have a next question to you. Professor
Yes, sir.
Dr. Eastern Mala.
Yes.
I want you, what is the situation of awareness regarding education and sustainability in Malaysia?
Thank you.
Welcome to you and over to you. Your insights.
Thank you, sir. Dear Honorable Respected President Dr. Beatrice Lucia, Chairman Mr. S.K. Singh, esteemed speakers. In Malaysia, our education system is more based on British, because we had British in ruling our Malaysia. And of course, we have Dutch, we have Portuguese as well, ruling in Malaysia. But we found, since the British is the last people who rule our country, so our education system and our early education system is, everything is based on, founded on the UK system. Yeah, even our English is UK English used in school. The fundamental English is all British. But now, since we have a lot of twinning programs with overseas, like US, yeah, when the students reach university level, they all go to private college. Now you can say in Malaysia, every family has at least one graduate. Now we can see every family having graduates, yeah, of various studies, yeah, and a lot of professionals are out, and most of them go to private university, although we have many local universities, because they choose many different diversified learning faculties. Yeah, so in Malaysia, to sustain, as I mentioned, we are more to UK based, and we are open to all education systems. We integrate, but although in Malaysia, our national language is Bahasa Malaysia. So from primary to higher secondary, we focus all the subjects on Bahasa Malaysia, although we have English as our lesson. Yeah, and we are also moving towards like sustainability. If you ask me, in school activities, we promote United Nations Sustainable Goals, education goals as well, and all other goals set by United Nations. And we have incorporated all that into schools, high schools especially. Even in now, they have started in LKG, kindergarten. Yeah, they are teaching all these sustainability goals. Whatever they can incorporate into their studies, they are doing it. Of course, we are following the SDG for education, quality education. We emphasize on that. So moving to after the higher secondary, our students go to local university, and majority go to private universities, because if they choose studies which is not available in our local university, they all can afford. Now financially, most Malaysians can afford, and there's a lot of scholarships for students provided by government and private institutions for the students who want to pursue their higher learnings. So if you ask, Malaysians have gone very far into education now. Of course, just like any other country, we do have our challenges in providing the right candidate for the right job. As what mentioned by our earlier speaker, Madam Arti, I would emphasize, as a soft skill trainer as well, I would emphasize on soft skills and hard skills, because I've been teaching both. Yeah. So without these soft skill trainings, it's going to be very tough. And in Malaysia, they don't emphasize on soft skill trainings much in school. This is all left to the individual to find what they need for their future. That's where we recruit staffs to work, most of the companies now, okay, providing trainings for their staffs, especially the companies which are affiliated with foreign companies, international companies, because I used to work for Singaporean company as well. So we are given trainings. So the employees are giving training still very, very minimal. So that's where I, as a soft skill trainer, promote soft skill training and hard skill training, because without these two skills, the educational certificate is worthless. It's just going to be paper knowledge, but you can't apply. So I would like to share this with not only with Malaysians, with everyone, global educators, parents, students, that we have to take initiative to sharpen our skills, hard skills and soft skills, if we want to increase productivity yeah, and demand for higher salaries. How can employers pay the employees if they don't have skill? They can't perform, they can't work. So I would always emphasize on this. What more? What more? About artificial intelligence? It will definitely will not take over our position, but it's definitely going to assist us, going to be very helpful, because it is blessing for every one of us if we know how to use the AI. So with this emphasizing, I would like to emphasize on this soft skill and hard skill. I would also encourage everyone, students, parents, educators, every one of us should be a lifelong learners, because the technology, the advancement in education, technology, skills are growing at lightning speed now. So if we are not lifelong learners, we will be left out. Even parents, because when your children come and talk to you, ask you certain questions, you can't answer them because you are ignorant if you are not learning. So somehow we have to give importance to learning also. So Malaysia is, of course, emphasizing on this, and they are working seriously on that, especially private institutions. Thank you, sir. Hope I answered your question well. You are muted, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor. Rightly said, right opportunity to the right people itself is a big challenge for all country. Reason behind, as we grow, our motto, our objective at different stage are changing. Yes. Childhood, primary education, then middle, secondary, and senior secondary.
Yeah.
Till they are reaching to the senior secondary or secondary level, foundation stage teacher has a more responsibility to identify the strength and interest of the child.
Yes.
Because after senior secondary, once they go to the university, they are not sure about why they are going to the university.
Yes.
I want to do MBA, I want to do engineering, just I want to do because my parents want, or my friend is earning much, so I want to be millionaire and billionaire.
Yes.
We know we have some 8 category of intelligence which we need to identify in the secondary level at age of 11 to 14 years. So it was rightly said by previous speakers, Dr. Aarti and as well as Dr. Arceloni.
Yes.
Making a ready product is a long and lengthy process. Yes. A good engineer, a good human being, a good teacher, it takes 15 to 20 years. And in this 15 to 20 years of journey, starting from the foundation stage, if any damage happens, it cannot be converted into a good citizen or global citizen. We are talking on the global platform. You are sitting in Malaysia. Beatrice and Madam is sitting in Brazil. Panthea is sitting in Australia. This was not possible if there was some teacher, someone who has inspired to be connected. Otherwise, we are happy or we are sad about into our one global situation came and we have got chance to exchange the emotions, thoughts, and idea. Because pandemic was not decided by any country, any religion, or any. So whole universe, the name Global Edu Leader Forum, this was in my, I think, childhood dream. Why I am constrained to India only? If I have a 2 eyes, I have a 2 ears, same Beatrice is having, same Arceloni is having, same Panthea is having. So God has not done any injustice.
Yes.
But we, after getting education, somehow I take this responsibility. We are somehow gone wrong, and which we need to correct at the right time. My good friend Panthea, after a long time, I hope you are fit and fine. Would love to hear you, a musical person, a dance person, a soft skill trainer. A lot to be said. I was missing you, honestly, on the forum. Thanks, Beatrice, for taking Panthea on the board. So, Panthea, over to you. I hope situation is better at your place. How you take this sustainability at your place? Because you are already practicing it.
Yes, okay. Thank you, SK sir and Dr. Beatrice, who actually sent a reminder about this particular webinar that we are having. And SK sir, I'm not in Australia, I'm in Sri Lanka. I don't know why you think I'm in Australia.
No, you are in Sri Lanka. You are in Sri Lanka.
Oh.
Very well said.
Okay. Okay. So the thing is, yes, good
Because
morning.
you are very
and good
nearest to
evening
me.
Okay, yes, yes. I think my heart is in your country, though my body is in Sri Lanka.
This is what I have to cross.
Yes, yes. So anyway, so nice to see all of you and listening to I think I heard 3 speakers before me. Very nice. It's the first time that I'm hearing all of you, Professor Esther and Dr. Arsiloni and Dr. Arti. So very nice to meet you all on this forum. Of course, Dr. Renata, Dr. Beatrice, common faces have always been there from the very beginning. And it's so nice to come back because Sri Lanka has gone through a lot of difficult times. It's not only due to COVID or the pandemic, but Sri Lanka has gone through a lot due to the mismanagement of government. We all know that a lot of issues that have come up in the country. And, things are trying to be okay. I would say that it's not normal, as I would say. It's not really stable or stabilized. But to some extent, we are okay. But I don't know for how long this stability would be there. Right. So that is actually the background. We've had a lot of power cuts, 12-hour cuts, 10-hour cuts. I can't join meetings. I can't charge my laptop. It was really, really bad. Pandemic was actually a blessing where we could really connect with people. But inflation in Sri Lanka, it's like, you just couldn't do anything. Queues, one after the other, so much happening. And I think this has worsened the education system because if all of you might be knowing, Sri Lanka has a history of 2,300 years of education and 150 years of British rule. And during that 150 years of British rule overall, it says mostly the Christian missionary school models that were established in the prominent cities. If you take Colombo, Kandy, Galle, Jaffna, but it was limited. So we were always under the British curriculum. So Edexcel, Cambridge, which is still regarded as the most accredited international standards that we have in Sri Lanka. But the flip side is we have the local curriculum in the mother tongue, which is, of course, Sinhala and Tamil. And then we have English medium as well for few students. So the worst part, before coming to sustainability and education, what I feel we need to propel. In my 21 years of teaching, I have seen mismatch. Mismatch is, and I wrote these figures down, because we have a literacy rate of 92.38. Figure is high, 92.38. But as Dr. Arsiloni said, people don't read. People don't value reading. I teach batch after batch, training diplomats, graduates, teachers. They don't read. So to do justice for their exams, I had to send a summary of the textbook that we do every year, which is a crime. Because if teachers don't read in my classroom, how do you get the students to read? It's pathetic. I really don't know, because I still love to read, and I feel, having a book in the hand is something every human being should do. So this is one drawback. We are trying our best to drive reading projects, freely trying to have competition, so many things to bring awareness. And the other thing is we have a mismatch. 92.38 is just a figure. But when you take the university system, the tertiary education, where they jump from A-levels to their bachelor's, the postgrad, what happens? Example, if there are 1,000 seats in the country for university entrance for law, medicine, teaching, agriculture, anything, there are 4,000 people competing for these seats. So this is a chaos, because a lot of students do not have the capacity to go overseas to study. And now with inflation, Sri Lankans going overseas to study for the bachelor's, even medicine, engineering, computer science, anything, we have to pay double. So it's very, very tragic how things have sort of, really, it's a slap in the face for us, to be honest. So the gap between education is there, okay, up to A-levels. That is also solely decided by sometimes your parents. You don't get to do the stream you want. But that has become less. I think a lot of people through rebellion, a lot of students are very rebellious now. They don't want to do what the parents ask them to do. They take their initiative. They want to do their subject. But the sad part is they don't have the entrance to university. Even if you get good rating, if you're cut off, there's a Z score we have. If your cutoff mark is there, you don't have the seat. Okay, if you're 1,001, the 1,000 seats make it, you're not there. So you go for second try, third try. So it's very, very demotivating for students. So I feel the government, the public, the private education system should have a sustainability. And going back to basics, now if we really talk about the sustainability that we talk about, not only go green, if we say, it says this ability to maintain or support a process over time. That's what we really need. You have to support over a period of time. You just don't start something and you stop it. That's not sustainability. That is what's happening in our country. People start projects. Foreign investors invest in education. After some time, it goes into the pockets of politicians, and then that project is gone down the drain. That's a big problem we face. And also environmental protection. As we all know, sustaining our planet, economic viability, social equity. To get to these, we first have to see the soft skills of students. Imagine children don't read. They grow up to be teens, adults who don't know what's happening around the world. It's very, very sad. They don't know about our environment being damaged. They don't know how socially we are disconnected. We are a very small community base in Sri Lanka. We have the Tamils, the Sinhalese, then we have the Muslims, and we have the Christian community. So we are a small community where the Sinhalese are the majority. But what happens even in this small 4-religion country? Lot of issues socially. Very big problems socially. I'm, of course, very different. I mean, I'm a Sinhalese, born in Australia, but my love for India, I wear a bindi. Everybody thinks my mom is Tamil because I have a Sinhalese surname. So I always say, no, being an educator, you should have a multicultural attitude towards, people to teach. Because if we don't teach that in our classrooms, the homes are not going to teach it. Everyone has something against another. So to sustain the climatic change, to talk about economic viability, the problem is we need to do this. Now it says, I went through the UNESCO, their plan for 2030, I was reading. So we are in 2023 right now. I don't know how Sri Lanka is going to go to that stage. And every human to acquire knowledge. That's what UNESCO says. Every human to acquire knowledge. And skills acquisition. You acquire skill, attitude and values, and you need to shape a sustainable future. So I think for our interconnected world, you need knowledge, you need skills. And thereby, we can shift to how all of us, it's not all of us right now. It is in Sri Lanka, the situation is a certain sect, a certain district. We have 9 provinces. So it's every province trying to work their way through. But we have only one government. We have one ruler, a set of rulers who have various ideas that are not connected. Right? So this is a big, big problem. And I just feel if we want to go into educational goals, right? The skills, attitude and value, forget the knowledge, forget the skills acquisition. That's there. But attitude and values. And I just came across a 7. I'm very fond of number 7. 7 essential skills. I think every school has to inculcate this. Some of the schools we are promoting through workshops. We are trying our best. But what do they do after 1 or 2 sessions? The schools are not interested because they can't make money out of it. Right? So this is the bottom line, focus, perspective thinking, communication. In order for children to understand their future, their environment, their society, they need to talk. They need to understand what's happening. And making connections. We are a small country and we can't connect the north and the south. I mean, people talk a lot of different things on television, on media. We are all one Sri Lanka, but it's not one Sri Lanka. It's very divided. I know that. I mean, it's a fact. And I speak as an educator and a human being, right? And also critical thinking. There's no critical thinking. It's by the book, by the rule. And rules are different for everyone. You can't think critically. And taking on a challenge to engage learning. I think self-learning is also very important. A lot of people, a lot of our professionals I come across, I do the advanced communication teaching for them. They are so bookworm in the sense to their subject. If you're a doctor, you're linked to your subject. You don't know anything else. If you're a lawyer, you're linked to that. And the law also does not exist in the country sometimes. So the human being is not, dimensional. I always say to be a human, you have a 4-dimension: mental, social, physical, and your spiritual. We are lacking that. We have mental, yes. People may qualify, go overseas, come back. But what is the use if we have not really connected head and heart? So all I'm saying is, I don't know, I really feel for the country, but there are a lot of people who feel like me who can't access. We've tried various methods, we've tried programs. It's very, very difficult. So SK sir and others, this is really, it's a hard cry, I would say. How do you really reach out sometimes to people in this part of the world where they know what they should do and we're not given the opportunity? Yes.
And yeah, people like you, those who are on the screen and smiling, are the real ray of light. And trust me, these difficulties may convert it into opportunity. We need to have hope. No one was aware that when this pandemic came, we will get connected. So I say always, I am very optimistic and positive side. Anything which is going wrong will be controlled by nature. Where we responsible people have to come forward, no doubt. Illegal activities may happen, but they will not be forever. There are n number of examples. Either you talk about the British Empire, either you talk about the Mughal Empire, you talk about anything. I'll give you one example. The library of Nalanda, University of India, in 1718, I'm talking about 300-400 years back, was burned, and it took 6 months. 6 months continuous it was burning. And this all literature and architecture which was made, that was a hand script. That time there was no machine.
Okay.
But still, India is practicing that value. Otherwise, if you talk about from 1200 to 1600, Mughal Empire, 400 years. You talk about 1600 to 1900, 3 years of British rule. So India is a place of diversity. I still believe you are near to us. As you said, there is a huge difference between north to south and east to west. People are not the same because somehow we are getting more selfish for our own comfort. Values is being diluted. You can take example of still what is happening in Ukraine. I'm not advocating, but as a human being, I can feel that pain of the small kids, those who have lost their parents, the ladies, those who have lost their husband as a soldier. The generation which is coming has no future. What is to be done? Such a beautiful country where 2.5 lakhs Indian doctors were studying. overnight. I do not know. Still, I'm not able to figure out. In our socio-politics, we claim that Russia is good friend of mine, America is so and so. But what is happening? What is happening? Where is humanity? Where is United Nations? So it's just power game. Think about a 6-month baby. Think about a 5-year child. Is he aware of what is the dispute between Ukraine and Russia? And it is turning into a world war. 20 countries this side, 10 countries this side, 30 countries this side. No, of course. There is some sensible discussion which is required, and of course we are doing it. And we have to take this. Sustainability is non-violence. If we keep fighting, killing each other, if you kill someone and get something, what you get out of it? What you will do with that? So these are the very socio-emotional behavioral change is required, and which along with this GEL forum, trying connecting head to heart for happy life. So thank you so much. We all are with you, emotionally connected. Physically, we are not meeting, but at least we are thinking about each other. Anytime, do come to India. We are here.
Definitely.
Need not to worry. Wow, need not to worry. Because as a human being, we have created this much relation. At least we stand for each other.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Arsiloni. Thank you, Dr. Esther Mala from Malaysia. Thank you to Dr. Aarti. And thank you, Renata and Beatrice, because you are the strong pillar of this Global Edu Leader. I may be called as founder, but honestly speaking, this is led by, credit goes to Beatrice, who is taking this all initiative. Good news for you all. We have planned to come up this forum as a very professionally. So we have launched a new website today, globaleduleaders.co.in. Getting into new, my journey is training, talks, and making good global human being who can feel pain for each other, who can collaborate emotionally, who can collaborate educationally, who can collaborate socially for happy and healthy life. So 2H was the earlier motive, head to heart, hand to happiness. These are the two extensions which we have taken. And it's a beautiful experience, honestly speaking. Sometimes we think economically what we are getting, but I'm getting a healthy and happy life, which I can bear. This 30-40 minutes, once we talk, we get the toxin out and we get the fresh air in. At least we are talking about this. And see, if it has been rightly said, if you want to do something, first start thinking and dreaming. Things will happen. So thank you. I think Beatrice would like to say ending comment.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Good morning. Thank you to the panelists today for the brilliant insights. Thank you also to the others listeners. Thank you always to the Global Edu Leaders Forum and especially Mr. S.K. Sun, who is always motivated with daily challenging. Thank you. Education and sustainability is not exhausted because it is our universal concern. So I invite you to participate in our 4th International Conferência de Global Edu Leaders Forum, partnerships with the University of Aveiro Portugal on the 26th and 27th of October. For more information, please contact Mr. S.K. Sun or myself, and we will give you all details. Best regards to all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Beatrice. And I hope, as I said, we meet each other soon. Portugal, Brazil, India, or Sri Lanka, or Malaysia. This is the human connectivity because we have some connect. And as I told you, socio-emotional connect is most important factor. If you're a human being, you will have a feeling of human being. You can feel the pain of others. This is what I pray to God Almighty. I pray to Jesus, end of this Ukraine and Russia war, because it is getting into a very, very sad and different situation. Let's pray for the family, those who have been suffering from last 1.5 years. That's all for today. Catch you on the same topic. Sustainability ends with the now collaboration and action. It has been much talked about because 7 years ahead we are waiting. As you said, Panthea, we are in 2023, 3 years pandemic has taken, 5 years will be pandemic recovery will be taking, and then we forget the things. So thank you so much. We catch you soon with the next episode. Thank you. Have a happy weekend.
Thank you.